Your sweet spot is where your skills, experience, and interests overlap with what the market in your area has a need for. There is a place out there with a need for someone just like you, where you can do work that you are truly passionate about. Welcome to The PA is In, the show created by PAs for PAs, where codependency with your supervising physician is a thing of the past, optimal team practice is the future, and physician associate has taken the place of physician assistant as the professional title of choice. I'm Tracy Bingaman, and I'm obsessed with redefining what success as a PA looks like and what it feels like. Here you'll find the mindset shifts, systems, and processes I use to escape healthcare burnout and integrate my work into my life. Work-life balance is a myth, and an integrated life where you thrive professionally, not a balancing act, is the goal here. My mission is to help you to grow into a unicorn PA who loves their job, has abundant energy, time to spare, and work-optional financial freedom. The PA is in. The PA is In is supported by Mastering the Medical Industry, a digital course made up of the step-by-step plan you've been searching for to get out of clinical medicine and into industry, even with zero experience, including 7 hours of on-demand teaching plus access to a private Facebook community, live group coaching, and even an option for one-on-one coaching with PA and founder Rachel Elaine Jurgensen herself. This course covers it all. Head to onepatientatatime.com/waitlist to save your spot in the next cohort for Mastering the Medical Industry. Welcome back to The PA is In. Today we are talking about how to create your very own unicorn position as a PA. We've had many guests on the show talking about their own version of their unicorn PA positions, but I thought it would be great to talk about how you make one yourself, because that is the most amazing thing when you can find a job that you love with enough time, financial freedom, and abundant energy, something that you enjoy doing for an organization where your values align. Notice that I didn't say this episode is going to be about how to find your unicorn position, and it's not about sitting around and hoping that the perfect opportunity is going to fall in your lap. Many of our guests shared that they had to pitch new positions repeatedly, try and try again, test out different specialties and organizations before they carved out a space that was both fulfilling and financially feasible, and one that worked for them during the season of life that they are in. Oftentimes, these unicorns positions aren't posted jobs. They might not even exist on paper or in the listings that you've been searching. Sometimes it's a PA filling a need that the department just realized that they had. Sometimes it's making a shift within an existing specialty to change your role to something that would work so much better for you. These positions, these unicorn jobs, are created intentionally, carved out at the intersection of what the employer and practice and department needs and what you are passionate about and skilled in. So at this point, you're like, yes, I want a job that is financially providing for the needs of my family, is fulfilling to me, and with a schedule that doesn't leave me wrung out and working all the time. This episode will help you to identify what qualities, values, schedule, setting, and specialty or area of medicine that you could thrive in. Here's how to do that. You need to find your sweet spot. Your sweet spot is where your skills, experience, and interests overlap with what the market in your area has a need for. There is a place out there with a need for someone just like you, where you can do work that you are truly passionate about. So let's break down the 4 elements of your sweet spot and then dive deeper into each one. Are you ready? Here we go. Number 1, your skills and experience. Number 2, schedule and values. Number 3, income potential and financial needs. And number 4, your passion and interests. We're going to start with skills and interests. This is where you look deeply, without modesty, at your own abilities. What are you great at? Where do you excel? It's time to leverage that knowledge, competency, and background and your unique experiences. Now, don't get hung up on the fact that your unicorn position might be in a specialty or situation that you've never been in before. There are skills and abilities that you've developed that are applicable in both new and exciting situations. We all have skills and awesome, unique abilities, and that, my friend, includes you. In the future that you see for yourself in healthcare and medicine, how do you see yourself adding value? As you think about this value add and your unique skills and interests, it's important to remember where you started and specifically all of the skills and abilities you have gained since then. Whether that was as a high school student, undergraduate, or graduate student, or all the things that you've learned since graduating, there are so many areas in which you've grown. Think beyond your skills that are simply clinical. Are you great at solving problems or thinking outside the box? Do you excel at procedures or difficult patient conversations? Have you enjoyed higher or lower acuity medicine? Do you want to make a change from the setting in which you've been practicing or just some changes within the setting you are already in? These things may seem to be a regular humdrum part of your practice, and those skills can be super valuable assets. Those things that you're doing every day can be leveraged in both similar and different practice settings. Your future unicorn position as a PA will allow a robust use of your skills and be in a specialty that is interesting to you. It may be adjacent to where you're working now or where you've worked in the past, or alternatively, it could be a completely different specialty in a drastically different setting. Don't pigeonhole yourself into a position that shows many similarities to where you've practiced in the past. I want you to keep an open mind when you're thinking about what the potential is for your unicorn position. I also want you to be generous when you think about your own unique skills. You are great at many things. These are skills that will prove useful in your future position. If you're having a hard time, you may want to ask your classmates, colleagues, or your nursing team. Seek insight from your collaborating physician. Those who know you well, both inside and outside of work, can offer positive reminders of the areas that you excel and how they've seen you thrive in these areas or situations in the past. Next up, your ideal schedule and your values. Your unicorn position is going to be a great fit for you when it has an ideal schedule. Be creative and open minded when it comes to your schedule when you think about what would be ideal to make your current position a unicorn position or in some position in the future. I bet the words no nights, no weekends, and no call just popped into your mind. Am I right? Or maybe you think working at night might work because you can be at home with your little ones in the morning and the afternoon when they get on and off the bus. Possibly it's a set of sporadic longer shifts that would work well for you and your family during this season. Or maybe it's a regular clinic schedule where 2 days a week you only see patients from 9 to 3 when your elementary age kids are at school. The ideal schedule for you is going to change depending on what your physiology is and what you enjoy doing and spending your time on outside of work. In order to carve out a position with this ideal schedule, you have to be clear on what the best schedule is. Know your values. If you haven't already taken time to do the Core Value Curator, which is a free download I have, I'll link it in the show notes. It's a 3-step process to identify your deeply held values. Knowing your values is integral in knowing what type of position makes it a unicorn for you. There are your personal core values, which are so important to know. But then there are things that you value when it comes to patient care and the way that an office or organization runs. There is a certain way that you believe medicine should be practiced and that patients should be treated. Finding a job where your values line up with the mission, vision, and values of the organization or group that you work for is a key piece of that job being a unicorn for you. Truly, I believe we do not give this values piece of the puzzle enough credit. We get distracted by the flash of specialty and salary, and we forget that working at a place with values that align with ours, who actually value us as a provider, matters, possibly most of all. You cannot find a position that lines up with your values if you do not know what your own values are. Take the time to figure out yours so that you can create a target for a unicorn job that shares those same values. Also, a note on values when it comes to work. Mine are things like patient safety, continuing to try new techniques in a safe, evidence based way, schedule, and respect. I want my patients to be safe and to be treated with respect, not just by me, but by all members of my team. It's super important to me that I be home for dinner. So, schedule is a huge value of mine when it comes to work right now. So, based on these values, what I've actually found over the course of my career is specialty matters less than I originally thought that it did. The actual work that I am doing, it's of course interesting to me, and it's a great pairing of my experience, my desire to do procedures, and help patients feel more confident about themselves. But the regular schedule and consistent hours really do it for me. It's okay to prioritize certain values during certain seasons of life. Things will shift, move, and change. Unlike your personal deeply held values, the ones that you want to highlight at work or the ones that matter most to you during this season may change as time passes. Next up, your income potential and financial needs. You might be thinking, all of this has sounded exceptional. Simply figure out what you love and are skilled and experienced in, decide your perfect schedule, determine your core values, and poof, a perfect white unicorn job with a rainbow horn and tail will appear. Although there is an absolute role for knowing, manifesting, co creating this position in conjunction with the universe, we also live in a world where paying bills and supporting ourselves and our families is necessary for most of us. Earning an income is rarely elective. So here's the practical part of designing and going about the business of creating your unique unicorn position. It has to pay enough. Now, that last word, enough, is a really important one. Do you know your own personal enough point? Do you have a handle on your finances well enough to know how much money is enough for your family to live comfortably? Oftentimes, we are chasing more and more without having paused and asked ourselves, what is enough? Or how much is enough? If your enough point is making less money than you are right now, and you love everything about your job but the hours, would you be able to cut back the hours and willingly suggest a reduction in your pay so that you have more time outside of work and fewer hours at the office or hospital? Are you chasing a lifestyle that is stressing you out? If your monthly expenses leave you stressed out or scrambling at the end of the month, how can you reduce those expenses to give you more wiggle room in your budget and in your life? There is a season of life where, for many people, money is the priority. Whether it's paying off student loans, getting ready to purchase a home, or aggressively saving for retirement, there will be times when earning more matters most. But then there are seasons where time simply matters more. I realize that this is both a luxury and a privilege, and that is not something that everyone has access to. But if you've tipped over from a season where money is your currency to time being your currency, take that into account when you think about the ideal time commitment and compensation for your unicorn job. Knowing how much income is enough and having that enough set point in your mind can help you to be open to different opportunities and get creative with both your schedule and the compensation package. As they say, you can't take it with you, and there's no U-Haul behind the hearse at the end of your life. So if you're hungry for quality time, memories and moments with those you love the most, that's a key part of figuring out your dream job setup. Next up, to find that sweet spot, we have passions and interests. This is last on the list, but it is absolutely positively, with certainty, not the least important thing. What are you passionate about and interested in? So far, we've covered that your sweet spot is the intersection between skills and experience, schedule and values, income and financial needs, and this last piece, passion and interest, is something that is worth more than the income you earn or the time you spend outside of work. Having your unicorn position be something that you truly care about and are interested in is imperative. Now, listen closely. And if you've been multitasking, come on back because this next piece is super important. In life and in your career, you are not going to have one true love, one specialty, one singular job, or one singular passion. This mindset puts way too much pressure on your job to be the be-all, end-all, perfect specialty, perfect position that you are incredibly, ridiculously passionate about. It doesn't need to be your one true love or passion. The specialty doesn't have to be that highest one on your list, but it does, in fact, have to be something that you're excited to be a part of. A situation where you are eager to learn and take care of patients inside the bounds of that position. You don't have to know exactly what you'll do within that specialty, but it has to be something that you like with patients that you can get excited and see yourself caring about. Let's face it, even unicorn positions have hard times. No position is literally unicorns pooping rainbows all day, every day. There will be challenging times and challenging patients and situations in every position, even the great ones that seem like the exact perfect fit. What matters here is that even when things are tough, that you are enthusiastic enough to make it through those times. When your unicorn position checks all the boxes, has some element of all four quadrants, that is a sweet spot, my friend. You'll be on fire, thriving, and with a life and work that flow, blend, and integrate. You'll have a position where you can spread your wings, do the things that you love, and still have a schedule that is sustainable to you and your family. Now that you've identified your sweet spot, don't stop there. Look for opportunities in your current position to make it more unicorn-esque. Yes, I am aware that unicorn-esque is not technically a word that is officially part of the English language, but we're just going to roll with it. What elements about that dream position can you start to create where you are? You do not have to wait for a job change to have more unicorn factors about your job and about your life. Also, look around you. What adjacent specialties or positions might exist that you could mold into a unicorn job of your dreams? Unicorn positions are rarely listed as so on the Indeed or LinkedIn or Workday job description. They are an opportunity to get into a new position that over time can become your unicorn position, or that once you get an offer from can be molded into what you want and something that will keep you in your sweet spot. Over the course of your career, there may be many unicorn positions in your culture. There's not one single unicorn position out there for you. There are many. The possibilities for making the positions you get in the future more like a unicorn are literally endless. You get to choose what's next in your career, whether changes in your current position or a new position in a new organization or a different department. But the bottom line is that unless you know what you're searching for, it's hard to know that you found an opportunity that you can craft into that unicorn. Thank you, as always, for tuning in to another episode of The PA is In. I hope that this was helpful and encouraging you to really define what would make a perfect position for you and see what changes you can make in your current position or what strategic moves you can make coming up in your career. This PA is out. Congratulations, you've just joined an awesome club. By listening to a full episode of The PA is In, you are officially on the Unicorn PA team. Welcome aboard. What most team members do is they subscribe to the podcast because that allows them to automatically get the latest episode of the show. The life of your dreams exists on the other side of taking action. Keep making small shifts and keep getting better. Your life will improve, your career will soar, and you will have the confidence you need to create your own success. I will see you in the next episode. This PA is out.